Hi, I'm Nicole Vogelsinger of Wild Boho. Welcome back to my Worktable Weekly. It has been a little bit. This is my first time doing one of these since I returned from QuiltCon, and it always takes me a little bit to readjust and recalibrate and get back into everything after QuiltCon. I had 5 classes of amazing people. We did lots of embroidery, lots of collage in Raleigh. Then I get home and there was a blizzard and I had lots of catching up to do different projects. I have a new project coming out for Michaels, a new one for John Bede. So they're going to be coming out soon, prepping for classes that are upcoming, and I'll talk about those later in this video. This is a pretty heavy piece that I'm going to show you. This is one of my newest purchases, and I'm going to talk all about it in the video today and show you how I've been using it. This is another piece that I've been working on, and again, I'm going to get into everything that I've been working on. So why don't we just jump right into it and let me show you some of my newest projects that have been on my work table this week.
So one of the projects that I finished up right after QuiltCon is this hoop that I am making as a sample for my upcoming workshop in September. It's the French Textile Retreat, and I will put the link for that in the description below. But this hoop handles all of the techniques that I'm going to be teaching in that workshop. And I did a longer video, a webinar about that. But just to point out a few of the things, this is a piece of smocking. I pleated the fabric with a machine I'll show you and then smocked the fabric. Added that to give dimension to these lavender fields that I created. This is needle felting with beads. I have some fabric painting along here and then embroidery on that. Lots of bead stacking and dimension here. I'll try and show it to you from the side. We have applique, we have some woven stitches, dimension. So lots going on here. The idea of this one, it is inspired by the French countryside, lavender fields. I couldn't help myself with this one, and I just absolutely love how it came together. So I just finished up this sample right after getting home from QuiltCon because I wanted to prepare for that webinar and show the finished piece. And this is something that I've really been loving working on. Now this smocked pleated area, I wanted to show you how I have been doing that. So this is the pleating machine that was my mom's, and this is what she had made lots of dresses for me. She pleated the fabric and then smocked the dresses, and I remember her going to a neighbor lady and a lady in a nearby town to learn how to do this. Now I have YouTube. I've kind of been working my way through this. I have a finished piece here that I'm going to be adding to a new collage piece, also for my France class. So this is a reed pleating machine. I really enjoy using it. I can add more needles all along here. I can vary the sizing, the gaps between the needles on the fabric. Here is another sample piece that I'm working on. And you can see I have some thin rows, some larger throws. I tried to vary the spacing between these rows. And I'm also going to be experimenting with the threads that I use. I love these colors. These are Weeks Dye Works. This is from the Cruel collection, so it's a merino wool. And I'm going to be working, again, I'm experimenting with all of this. I am always open to, if you have tips, if you have different techniques you've used, if you see me doing something that you think I should be doing better, definitely leave a comment because, again, I am learning on my own, kind of just playing around with it, but definitely enjoying the process a lot. This is another completed, well, I smocked the piece, but now I'm working on doing some beadwork, and you can see this section here. I'm working on adding teeny tiny little beads. So again, another really fun experiment in my smocking and pleating. And then taking it one step further, This is an auction that I just won on eBay, and I've been playing around with this. So this is, you can see this was patented 1866. You're to heat this. Here is what it looks like on this side. This is a rocking fluter. So you can see, I think the marks here are just really, really neat. And so basically how it works is you heat this up and then you place fabric inside of it, and then, you know, it does the pleating for you. My first experimenting with this maybe could have gone a little better. I kind of got it in the mail, had a hot plate, jumped right into it. I didn't wet the fabric first, and this would have turned out a lot better if I had done that. It also left some marks. This is just a scrap that I was using. And I also may or may not have filled my room with smoke as I was doing it. So I'm working on perfecting my technique with this, and I hope that soon I will be able to show you a cooler piece of fabric. Yeah, you can see it. It really got marked up on this. The person that I bought it from said that she had been using it as a doorstop for years and years. It had been in her family, and she was excited to see me use it for its intended purpose. So I'm excited too, and hopefully I will get back to using that and learn how to use it appropriately. I have another collage piece in the works that I am using some of these smocked pieces for. I have another fiber sample that I'm working on for the French textile class again, and this is going to be a combination of how my project is starting. You can see I have a little micro embroidery piece here. When I was at QuiltCon, I bought 2 big scrap bags of cork. And so this is a piece of cork and this is a piece of cork. And I loved the colors and I wanted to be able to incorporate it into projects. So I was excited when I figured out a way to incorporate this. And then the next part that I'm going to add to this is a little section of needlepoint. So this is a card of buttons. I've had this for years. It was passed down to me in a jar of buttons. You know, as makers, we're given things all the time, and this was given to me, and I just love it. I don't want to take the buttons off of it. Like, I love this piece, and I thought this would be a cool piece to incorporate into my collage. But I didn't want to risk incorporating this. I mean, I just really like it. There's something about it that I love. And so I came up with an idea to create a needlepoint pattern, and I'll show you, you can see as I'm talking about this, the process that I did to transfer the pattern. I then took that pattern and used a projector to project it to a piece of needlepoint where I just used a little bit of acrylic paint to get some of the shapes onto here. And now I'm going to needlepoint the design so you can see where, hopefully you can see where I'm going with this. I have a vision in my head, and I'm really excited to try it out. This little button, I hadn't planned on stitching buttons. I was going to add buttons. However, as I was stitching this section, I realized that I was running very low on blue thread and I didn't have another color. And I went to the store and they didn't have it. And I didn't want to wait for an online order. And so I kind of estimated how much thread I had and added a button to cover some of the area that I knew I wasn't going to be able to make it with the stitching. And this is how much thread I had left. So I really just made it with this design. So I'm going to keep stitching this. It's going to look a little bit like this. And I'm going to be incorporating all of these design elements into my next piece. So I'm not exactly sure how it's going to come together, but I will definitely be showing some of my process on Instagram, and maybe next time I do my work table video, I will have a more complete piece to show you. But for now, this is where I am with this process. My husband was just recently in New Orleans and picked this up for me, and you can tell I definitely have a color palette. This is a fabric I've been working with, and then when he came home with this, yarn. It's from Sugar Plum Circus. It's such a gorgeous, I mean, I just love all of these colors. So I don't know what I'm doing with this yet. Definitely I will take suggestions in the comments if you have an idea on what I can do with a skein of this. It's 437 yards. I'd love to knit, like I was thinking kind of like a bandana type cowl of some sort. So if you have any patterns or ideas on what I can use this for, but I absolutely love it. And if I have any extra, it definitely matches this fabric and I can incorporate it into my collage. I may or may not have shown this project to you. This is a project that I'm working on for a class that I'm going to be teaching in Montana this summer. So I'm going to be at Quilt Gallery, and the link for that is below in the description as well. This is a flora and fauna silhouette collage class. And so I'm creating several patterns. The patterns will all be available to any of my students in the class, and I'm making up samples. So I just love the dark and the light and these vivid colors. This is a Tula fabric, and you can't go wrong with that. I love it. It's one of my favorite pieces of fabric. I got this fabric when I was at the Mackinac Island retreat that I taught at last spring from Cousin's Quilt Shop. It's just so beautiful. So it's all assembled, and now I'm just working on stitching it. And then I have a lot of other patterns that I am working on creating. So you're also going to see these in the coming months as I prep for that workshop.
So there you have it. This is everything I've been working on, and hopefully next time I will be able to share some updates with my needlepoint, with the rocking fluter. We'll see what I get up to this week. Thank you so much for watching and for spending some time with me this week. And until next time, happy stitching.